Shikha and me, or I should say we, made a promise to ourselves and to you that for the next 29 minutes, we will not use the word artificial intelligence. How about that? We'll try.
And maybe the audience can decide what happens if you do.
Like, we dance, we sing, or... No, don't go there. But you can make a noise, like a boo, when we do that, yes? How about that? Shikha, it's wonderful to have you with us. Thank you so much for being here in Wrocław, in the really, really warm environment. And our conversation is not about those two letters I cannot use, right? We wanted to talk about what's next for the sector, what's next for the models that are changing inevitably over the last several years. When we see, on one hand side, tremendous cost pressure and a push for short-term results.
Yes.
We have development of this thing that I cannot talk about. We have also the very lucrative and very promising notion of GCC, of moving jobs, moving work away from headquarters and from the centering countries to Far East mostly, and that will be a remedy for everything, right? Those are the headwinds I can think of. On the other hand, however, the geopolitics is a bit on our side because it's completely unpredictable what's going to happen. Very fragile supply chains, as well as the capability gap that is growing. Our talent is asked to do far more sophisticated things immediately, almost immediately, without having ability to spend years in practicing. So there are different forces, as always, positive and negative, good and bad, headwinds, backwinds, but do you see similar dynamics, and how does it look from the headquarter point of view? What your clients tell you? Do they struggle as we do?
So what are the clients struggling with? I think the clients are struggling, well, struggling being a strong word, what are most companies thinking about? No surprises, growth and profitability. And now they're thinking of growth and profitability in the world of the ever-evolving, to your point, geopolitical context, evolving consumer demands and needs, but also their core customers and suppliers making their own decisions where they want to situate. And of course, in the last 30 years, we saw a lot of globalization, we saw a lot of concentration of manufacturing in China, operations in India, and of course here in Poland. But increasingly, the term I hear more and more from my clients is regional resilience.
Regional is resilience, yeah?
Absolutely. Every 2 years earlier, and now every 6 months, something happens that yet again disrupts supply chain, that yet again creates uncertainties around what can I do from where again, how much mobility can my talent have, and then even if I have some resilience, maybe my customers don't, my suppliers don't, and therefore, if we're a global company, and you were part of one until very recently, how do we make sure that our growth markets, our Europe business, our Americas business can be connected, but also stand in its own right?
Let's go back to Wrocław, to Poland, and to see about us. Because, let's be honest, there are very disturbing articles in media, lots of discussions about jobs being reduced and people being laid off. And there is a huge narrative of something is finishing, something is changing. What's next? Where is competitiveness of this country versus other countries? Could you elaborate on that? Are we good? Are we bad? Is it a wake-up call? It's already post the wake-up call? How do you see it from your perspective?
I think maybe let's start with why it's happening. Why it's happening is when we take a step back, when personal computers came, it was a profound shift for everything that we do. When internet came, it was a profound shift, and cloud, and now the words that you are not allowing me to say. In this moment right now, it feels like it's beginning of something, and therefore it must be end of something. And maybe it's that human nature that is now getting magnified, amplified, and obviously economy and geopolitics is not helping. But the way we look at it, it's not a war of attrition. The pie is growing. The whole concept of GCC, and each time I discuss GCC, the room gets hot, and it's already quite hot right now. Each time we discuss GCCs, it provides a contextual reframing of how work is organized. In that, I'm going to take a white clean sheet, look at all the Lego blocks of competitive advantage and capabilities I need as a company, and strategically place them based on my own strategic imperative, where my suppliers are, where my customers are, where some of the talent is, and where some of the supportive ecosystem is. And what that does is I can move far more work, far more exciting decisions and accountabilities further show, which means the pie is growing. In that, I think we had that conversation. Poland has what we call the real estate advantage. Must capitalize. I think, so as we discuss this, please, what do you see as some of the core concerns? Because the way we see it, Poland has the real estate, Poland has the talent. The city we sit in is known for technology innovation, so there is nothing stopping Poland. So what do you hear as things that are stopping Poland from?
We tend to focus on negatives, right?
Well,
Poles have a couple of characteristics. We are very ambitious, very hardworking, very straightforward.
I think.
And we
you
tend
could be an Indian.
And hooray! And we tend to complain a lot, right? So sometimes we see the glass half. These are all empty.
They're all empty here.
So we tend to focus on the things that we see around. This is where I started with, right? These articles to say, hey, in city of Kraków, so many people are moving out. This company, I will not give the name of the company, is doing that, etc., etc. All of a sudden, these articles, it's super easy to have clicks, because this is, I mean, we run for sensation, yes? But in reality, it is true that the sector has honestly, I think, saturated. As we discussed in the report that we produce every single year, in the report there is still a growth, but the growth is minimal, and the possibilities to move forward are honestly very openly showing possibility of shrinkage of the overall number of roles. And this is where the concern comes from. On the other hand, the roles that we are staffing, the subject matter experts, DevSecOps engineers, the cloud engineers, the cyber specialists,
absolutely,
planners with the big P letter, right?
Yeah,
and the systems that are associated with these capabilities, financial services, and the systems associated with financial services are getting more and more sophisticated. So that requires people, hopefully like us, like people who are working for the people who are in the room, to upskill, reskill, and this is I personally believe this change is a good change, because it pushes you forward to make yourself kind of redundant on a more frequent, not yourself, your role,
reinvent yourself
on a more frequently basis. I'm an optimist, okay? I'm a born optimist. So sometimes people in ABSL tell me, yeah, you should stop talking that, right? The reality is different, but I don't, and I won't, because I believe it's a great opportunity for us, really. And even if you look at the statistics, more than 70% of people running this business in Poland look at this thing and these changes as a positive, right? As a possibility to do more things, do faster things, do different things, do them differently as well. I don't know if you're naive, or I think we are just constructively optimistic.
I think you're a big picture thinker, my friend. That's what you are. I believe, and this is where we have Accenture presence in the room. As a firm, we are very confident in our own Poland business, and that I would think is a reflection also of the confidence we have in the market. But what is the reason for it? The reason for this is that we believe at this moment where companies are redefining what work gets done from where, using what, through what ecosystem, Poland is very well placed. To your point, brilliant talent, very mature delivery muscle, very serious investment in ecosystem. You have most innovative companies here. So where does one go from here, sitting here in Poland, is this is the moment to flip the switch from delivery to capability to innovation. Not looking inside the building so much that how do I have this workforce here do more for cheaper, for faster.
But that requires time. It's easy to say, it's much more difficult to do, right? Let's flip the model. Fine,
That's
let
true.
me flip it. Yeah, but
Everything takes time, but also everything needs intent. It's a question of intent more than speed. I think I see more and more intent on the client side, on the sending side, to flex the delivery muscle in Poland, in India, in Bratislava and whatnot, to do different things, to empower, and to actually better use the supportive ecosystem, not just the delivery center, but the overall ecosystem that exists to innovate faster, innovate more, innovate cheaper, and then get through this hump that everybody is seeing of AI. Well, said it. Had to say it.
I had a dream.
Sure.
And that dream was about a perfect sync of a global pie of possibilities.
Yeah.
And this place being an orchestrator
Yes.
of pretty much things that are happening from the headquarters, from the sending countries. The GCC are far off in India, far shore in India, and other Malaysia, Philippines. And the perfect symbiosis of I know it's an illusion, but maybe not so much. Maybe there is a chance for us to be in that, because I tend to believe that the pie is so big that there is place for everyone. But maybe I'm naive. Am I?
Well, in some cases yet, but not in this case at all. One of the things that we're increasingly talking about at Accenture is GCC Command Center. I know you were very interested in the topic of resilience, for example. And part of being resilient is being able to have situational awareness of where we are, that end-to-end visibility, and therefore the GCC being at the heart of running the command center for the enterprise. Now, when that idea starts to be turned into reality, that command center needs to be situated where the data laws are compliant, you are future-proof in terms of legislation, you have mature talent, but also reasonable proximity to HQ, because this is a really connected capability.
That's a gift.
That's a gift. That's back to
you. You live in London, we are just 1 hour
Well, exactly.
difference. This is a gift, right? We've done nothing to earn it, but it's just happened.
Neither has UK, but that's another matter. Indeed. So, as we think of these command centers, I believe this is where a lot of the leaders, let's come to the leaders in GBS and GCC.
Let's come to
right?
the
Let's
leaders.
come to the leaders.
We have many of them.
Because we have many leaders in the audience, and it will be lovely to have a conversation, because I think we talk a lot about technology, we talk a lot about workforce as aggregation. What about GCC leaders in Poland, and also for that matter elsewhere? How do you see, when all of this happens and when your dream comes true, their role, but also the persona evolving, and linked to that, what must the leaders do now?
I have two thoughts. First one is, as a leader, you need to really take that flip from the execution. We are very good in execution, by the way. When it comes to operations, right? Oof, very good, very good. KPIs, delivery, progression, cost saving, we are excellent in that. The business as usual thing is our bread and butter. And it's very attractive to stay in that zone. Very easy. But this is what needs to change. All of a sudden, we as leaders, we need to start thinking about, all right, if I don't do execution, if I don't do delivery, if I don't focus only on driving business results from the sheer operations, what is this step that I do? How do I move forward? That flip is not easy. And we need to train our leaders, I believe, to experience, maybe send them to the headquarters for some time, maybe to understand the clients differently.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if this is internal or external client. If this is captive, shared service center, or the BPO, doesn't really matter. A different way of thinking of trying to managing the operations, but thinking about business process development, thinking about new models, taking advantage of technology, training people, stepping up. And this is nothing new. We talk about this for years, but it's very difficult. So that's one. And the second, I was also thinking, with 500,000 professionals here, and with the unavoidable possibility of number of jobs that are needed going down, what can this sector, being by far the most innovative sector in Polish economy, do for other sectors? Perhaps we should ask our people to move and help different sectors that are far falling behind.
Absolutely.
And this may be linked to innovation and investment.
We keep reading news about Poland's investment in the Gulf markets. Now,
Gulf markets.
Gulf markets, the Middle East, and there are obvious affinities in...
That's interesting.
Indeed. So those are the markets that obviously are growing really, really fast. The business there is growing. The world is watching. And as Poland becomes a key market serving Europe, that's another market where there are deep ties to be had, linked to business interests, and therefore how do you become the backbone of those business? Then another thing comes to mind as Poland as an economy is growing, and that's what, being native Indian, think of India as such, same and different, growing economies, growing service market. What did we do with that? We created world-beating CEOs of technology companies, started leading the agenda in technology right from that seat, created workforce maturity that to down. And that's what has led to the resurgence of true innovation hubs and very serious investments. So thinking about how can Poland create right now as a market, not create actually, you have a lot of strengths already, but leverage that ecosystem, internal and external, to create full innovation solutions that actually HQ cannot dream of creating in the markets.
How to do it, like practically? Like, I'm looking for a volunteer.
Yes.
How person act? Here we have brave volunteer, Andrzej. Why am I not surprised you are a volunteer? Oh my goodness. Andrzej is a volunteer. Andrzej wants to completely rebrand and be the future leader. I'm putting my words in your mouth. How does he do it? How does he approach it? Because it's easy to say, be more innovative, think about this, but here he is, very matured leader. I happen to know him, and he's asking himself, what's next for him? What's next for his organization? How to continue story of success? He's a very successful guy.
I'm sure. Well, I'm sure he needs no advice. I'm 100% sure.
No, he needs advice. It's going to be used by him and by everybody else. Andrzej, you want to talk about this a little bit? You have a mic? He doesn't have a mic.
He's like, but go on.
Is there a chance to give Andrzej a mic? Andrzej, you can join us on stage as well. A brave man. Mic is ready, seat is not. You can take mine. Come in. Tomek Wnieście.
I was sitting in a bike saddle for 3 days, so I'm fine standing.
We can all stand. Yeah.
But so what I believe we need is a capital, right? So, for example, to run, 1,000 digital engineering shop, most probably I would need like 500 million PLN per annum investment to run that shop. And then I would have an opportunity to prove that actually I can deliver more value than actually it costs. But someone would have to make a shot on me, believe in me, believe in that capability that I would lead for all those money. And this is something that is not happening very, very often. We have a couple examples even in that room, like Bilenium, for example, right? So Bartosz, are you somewhere in the room? So there are guys like that, but unfortunately, we would like to have more of them.
Andrzej is taking an easy path. It's, I will do it, give me money. Will it work with you?
I would say you have to break the sequence. Everything all at once.
I can barely hear you, so I'm here to the
Yes,
closer to the speaker.
I believe you have to break the sequence. It's not sequential. In this world, everything is all at once. Run the delivery, get the efficiency.
So,
Also
Andrzej, no
think
money.
Innovation.
No money.
Yes, no money.
How do we approach
But
it?
you know, free labor in Europe is illegal.
What do I say? But from the capability point of view, from the organization point of view, what would be your, Shikha, what would be your advice to Andrzej?
I would say build the plane as you fly it. In that there will always be room for doing more with the existing setup, the delivery setup, the capabilities. Absolutely. There is absolutely no out from efficiency and productivity and proving the value. At the same time, while you do that, the world is moving real time. Innovation agenda is changing, evolving. Business needs are evolving. And by the time one thing is done and we sequentially get to the other thing, the original objective gets lost. So what I see leaders doing now, doing everything at once and doing it really, really well. Running the efficiency agenda on one speed, running the innovation agenda on the other speed, helping business be cost efficient but also competitive.
I think it sounds like a great topic for the next executive club of ABSL.
Yes.
Thank you, Andrzej. You've been amazing.
Model.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
But now, guys, we have 3 chairs, so if somebody wants to join on the stage and
Yes.
get embarrassed,
Maybe we'll have a
please
new,
do it.
Yes.
Come forward.
I'm sure our next guest will appreciate it.
Very good. What we've been talking about is so far is changing model and the role of the leader, as well as the ecosystem that has opportunities and potential for everyone. Is there one thing that you would signal as the biggest risk right now, or the biggest possible trap that we may fall into?
I think the trap would be wanting to have exact same setup and wanting different things from it. I have a delivery setup, absolutely custom designed to deliver highly cost efficient, repeatable processes. And all of a sudden, the assignment has shifted, but the permission to shift the operating model has not.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. And the biggest opportunity?
The biggest opportunity, I think, is to actually, finally, to our point, go on the multi-speed model. In this universe now where technology barriers are entirely getting eliminated, humans have skill boundaries. AI does not have skill boundary. The opportunity is finally to simplify the operating model.
AI,
Oh. Well,
this thing has no boundaries.
this thing, Voldemort, this thing has no boundary. But this is the opportunity to think value stream. Think how water flows through the pipe. How do you?
But that's intrinsically linked to capabilities of people.
That's absolutely, correct? It always comes back, no matter how much, it always comes back to capabilities, to your point earlier, of human beings, the workforce, the leaders, and also some of the decision makers. Indeed.
Brilliant. We have almost at the time. I would like to warmly thank you, Shikha, for being with us today. I wanted to thank Andrzej, who is our brave volunteer. I hope this was interesting. We almost succeeded by not calling this almost succeeded. But now, guess what? We're going to have a guy who will not shy away from talking about this thing throughout his presentation. So fasten your seatbelts for our keynote speaker. Shikha, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much.